Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at deck_fiends Tempo Rogue. Tempo Rogue, an archetype that we've played many times before, and I'm excited to get back into it. We've been looking to, I've been excited to play some Faldori Striders for a long while. Deck Fiend mentions in their Hearthstone deck article, which if you're watching on YouTube, of course, all the links down in the description, go check that out, that this deck was kind of taken from a streamer called J Alexander Hearthstone, so shout outs to them for coming up with this this kind of build. And it's pretty interesting. We'll go through a couple of the card choices for those of you who haven't played Tempo Rogue before. It's a very early game aggressive deck, often tries to trade card advantage instead for getting on the board, staying on the board, and killing your opponent quite quickly. We see that in cards like Sap, cards like Preparation, these cards that, they cost you multiple cards to deploy this. Sap, you lose a card, your opponent doesn't really lose a card. They still have that minion somewhere within their hand and field. Preparation, if we Preparation an Eviscerate, that's 2 cards to kill one of our opponents. So instead, we're going to try and make up for that with a lot of getting on the board very quickly, maintaining the board, and hopefully snowballing some advantage into that kind of mid to late game where we want to close the game out. So on the 1-drops, so we've got some early control, we've got Backstab in here, and some early 1-drops with Firefly. Southsea Deckhand, not exactly a 1-drop, more of a piece of reach in this deck, so we ideally don't want to be keeping this on turn 1. We're happy to play it on turn 1 if we do get it. Onto the 2-drops, a bit more control here. Eviscerate, which also doubles as reach. Sap, a fantastic piece of board control, particularly if your opponent's trying to gear up a mech or something like that, or buff something quite large, or in general if it's just a big taunt minion or something like that, no comes into play effect or anything, or a big death rattle. Sap is fantastic, really kind of catch-all card. Onto the 3-drops, quite an interesting selection here. Hench Clan Thug, Young Thug, my beautiful pig son is in here. Great card, allows our daggers to double as a way to buff this Hench Clan Thug, and you can really close out a game quite quickly with Young Thug over here. Edwin Van Cleef as well, in Tempo Rogue. We play this in Odd Rogue, where usually it's a 6/6, maybe an 8/8 at best. In Tempo Rogue, we can really go ham with all these backstabs and preparations and other cheaper spells. We can get quite a big Van Cleef. So once again, another way to build a big guy and try and close out the game very quickly. We've also got Fan of Knives in here. I imagine this is just a concession to Odd Paladin being quite strong right now, especially 2 Fan of Knives. I think that's quite telling to that kind of matchup. And the other interesting 3-drops we've got in here are Raiding Party and Shadowblade. We've played Raiding Party before with Death Rattle Rogue, and it's really quite interesting. So for 3 mana, we draw 2 pirates from our deck, and combo, we get a weapon 2, so we can prep this out, and we're going to get pirates. So we've got Southsea Deckhands, which we've already mentioned. We've got Dread Corsairs. We've got Captain Greenskin in here as well, and I believe it's just that selection of 5, which I think is a nice number. Maybe 5 or 6 would be about my limits. But yeah, we can go get that. We also get a Shadowblade from our deck. We play the Shadowblade. It makes our Dread Corsairs cost 1. It allows us to stay on the board. Shadowblade's just a tremendous board control tool. So I really like this little Raiding Party package we've got going on here. The other 4-drops, as I mentioned, Dread Corsair. We've also got Faldori Strider. This is kind of a way for us to get back some of that card advantage that we lose in the early game if we're going to be prepping, if we're going to be sapping and things like that, because as the game goes on, we're going to summon more and more spiders, which will hopefully help us close the game out. On to the end of the deck, we've got the Greenskin, like we mentioned before. Not super tremendous in this deck. It's not, King's Bane or anything like that, but we've definitely seen Greenskin in Odd Rogue before, and it was totally fine there. So I imagine it's going to be okay here. Buffing our dagger to a 2/3 is not a terrible thing. Keeping it around an extra turn, maybe buff a Hench Clan Thug, something like that. So I can get behind it. Also, just an extra pirate in the deck, that 5th pirate. I definitely wouldn't be running this Raiding Party with just 4 pirates in this style of deck. I also got Leroy and Myra's Unstable Element, and both of these cards represent quite a lot of reach if the game does go quite late and we do get to 8, 9, 10 mana. you know, we can prep a Myra's Unstable Element, and we're drawing cards like Leroy, we're drawing cards like Southsea Deckhand, Cold Blood, Eviscerate. Like, this is a lot of reach, and it's a lot of reach immediately. So I imagine if we're on 10 mana and we've got a prep and a Myra's, even if our opponent's on, you know, 10, 15, we still might have a shot at killing them. So without further ado, we're going to jump into some games with Deck Fiend's Tempo Rogue. If you've got any questions, of course, drop them in the YouTube comments. But other than that, let's go.
Begin. Watch your back.
Alright, up here against the Hunter. I think we send the Shadow Blade and the green skin back. We want the Shadow Blade to be in the deck so we can raiding party it out. Green skin, never keeping a 5-drop in this deck. Now, I don't think we keep prep. I think we'd only really keep prep if we had something to prep with it. But I might be wrong on that. Maybe this is a bit of a concerning, conservative style of mulligan. Yeah, rough hand here though. Maybe I'm looking too much at this deck from a an odd rogue point of view, where if I were to draw this kind of hand, these kind of cards in an odd rogue, well, I wouldn't be playing odd rogue, but I would kind of just be like, oh. So, interesting question in the chat. Mugi asks, when you say a card has reach, what does that mean? So, reach is a term that's been around for quite a while. It probably comes from Magic, but who knows? Let's just get a Dread Corsair out and not attack. I think we'll wait until we have something else to attack into, a potential Wandering Monster or anything like that. So reach probably comes from Magic, but who knows? When we say reach, that generally means cards that allow you to close a game out from a position where you've almost won, but maybe you just need that little bit extra. The best example of a card with reach is a Fireball. Fireball's the best example. What are we doing here?
Here we go.
Yeah, so the best example of a reach card is Fireball. The idea of calling it reach rather than removal or something like that is in the context of, say, an aggressive mage deck where we're trying to play a lot of minions, get some minion damage in and things like that. Ideally, you want to try and get all the damage in quickly, and then as soon as you start to lose the board, as soon as you start to lose pace, you hit them with the Fireball. Hopefully they're on 6 or 12 or whatever, and you get the job done, as opposed to trying to rely on minions for the entire game to kill your opponent.
So many options.
So many options indeed.
Here we go.
There's the Wandering Monster.
I will be your doom.
Yeah, the high roll on the Marsh Drake's very good for our opponent. But yeah, generally if we refer to a card as reach, it just means that, you know, you want to be using this card. Well, Kill Command, another example of reach. You generally want to be using this card to close the game out. You know, a card like a Leroy is a great example. You know, you really just want to use Leroy to kill your opponent.
Here we go.
We're in a very rough position here, especially if our opponent has dogs. Has those big dog boys. Ugh.
comes there?
Here we go.
It's a bit of a risky play here. Gonna try and lean a bit on this Hench Clan Thug a bit. Using our last charge, dagger charge to go faces.
To my side.
Don't be alpha. We're so low. Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
We have many secrets.
No. It's okay. It's okay. We might be dead if our opponent has a beast and kill command. They definitely have a beast because we sapped that Devil's Oar back. Huffer? Leok. Leok trade with the big one. Go face, yeah. Put us on 2. Alright. What are we doing here? We've got... So this is 1, and this will be a 6 and a 5, so 11, so 12. We've got 6 here, which is 18. So we just need to hit... we just need to hit like a Cold Blood or something. That looks like a Cold Blood.
I'm out of cards.
I think that's
Here
enough.
we go.
Guess we'll find out.
Let's do this.
It is! GG. So exactly what we were talking about. Like, Myra's Unstable Element represents a colossal amount of damage. And that even if we didn't have that Leroy in our hand, we're pretty likely to draw that Leroy as well. Or some combination of like Cold Bloods, or South Sea Deckhands if there were still any alive and in our deck. So yeah, our opponent going for a bit of a risky play, putting us on that that 1-turn clock. But we had the Myras, so GG.
Watch your back.
Okay, up here against the Mage. I'm not sure what we should be keeping here. Part of me wants to keep the Faldora Strider. Part of me wants to mulligan for the Firefly. Part of me also wants to keep this Van Cleef. I think we'll keep this Van Cleef. Though an early Faldora Strider would have been a real tasty number. It's our opponent. Regular Majorino. I think we'll dagger up on 2. Maybe look to Hench Clan Thug on 3. Big Spell Mage. Big Spell Mage. This is definitely the matchup where we'd want the early Faldora Strider.
Here we go.
I guess we can hope that our opponent isn't playing Polymorph. And just go for this Van Cleef next turn. Never mind. I mean, there's minus one polymorph, so let's see if they have the second one.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
Don't want to attack with this dagger. Yes.
Here we go.
See if our opponent has the other polymorph.
Need a key?
That's interesting. Wonder if you just snap off the vaporize here. What are the chances that it's vaporize?
Lapdogs, all of you. Welcome to my web.
Oh. Alright, so now they have the blizzard this turn.
Here we go.
Now, do they have the second blizzard, or are they going to try to hit a big Dragon's Fury? Let's see. That might be okay.
Here we
Good thing is we're probably setting ourselves up for a pretty good Myra.
Need a key?
Well, these Arcane Keysmiths are slightly frustrating. We'll go for the backstab on that Keysmith. Maybe a Firefly, see what happens. Just peeking, so they're saving the polymorph, which is real interesting. Explosive runes? Yes. Does suck to put it on the deckhand. Just because it gets taken out by the ping, or by any board clear really. But if we can kind of crimp our opponent's mana a little bit, especially if they maybe have like a Alexstrasza or something. Oh, it's a pretty good draw. So if we prep this, is 7 mana different to 6? It might be. I think we just want to go one card deeper. Oh yeah, all our spider ambushes. Forgot about those.
I'm out of cards.
Well, that sucked. We hit exactly
Choose soon.
no reach. I mean, we can Shadow Blade for the extra 1 damage, but
Welcome to my will.
Here we go.
all opponent, do your worst. And next turn we can just go Shadow Blade and attack. We missed both Eviscerates. Oh, we missed an Eviscerate. We missed Leroy. And that's why I played the Firefly first, to try to give us 1 extra shot. Opponent didn't have the Arcane Artificer, so I think we should be good. So pretty big whiff, but you know, it was a calculated gamble.
I'm almost out of cards. I'm out of cards. Here we go.
GG. GG. So I'm not sure about our opponent's decision to pull him off that Hench Clan Thug. I guess we didn't know the makeup of their hand or anything like that, but I think it was an okay move. But GG, well played to our opponent. Alright, up here against the Druid. I think I want to keep this Hench Clan Thug. Now, do we want to keep backstabbing against Druids? Because I can't think of any Druid deck that I really want backstab against, other than like a really aggressive token Druid, which I can discount as probably not existing right now. So I think we'll send that back. Thinking about starting Breath of the Wild again. What makes you think that? Didn't they, wasn't there like a DLC, like New Game Plus kind of thing? Razel, GG indeed, what's up? Good to have you in chat. I really don't want to play this South Sea deckhand. It's a good game, and I haven't played any of the New Game Plus. So do you know what the New Game Plus does? Is it just like makes things a bit more difficult, or is it just like you? Because I assume it's like most New Game Pluses where you get to start the game, but with all the fun toys. We could go for the Thug here, but part of me wants to go for a Dread Corsair and see if our opponent swipes it.
Blood and plunder.
See if we can bait something out. Or like Hero Power Spellstone or something like that. Now, as much as I truly dislike Greedy Sprite,
Folks, who goes there?
as much as I dislike killing it on my turn, I think we're going to take advantage of being able to clear it with our dagger, grow our Hench Clan Thug. I guess we got to start watching out for Spreading Plague a bit more. I managed to hit rank 4 in Wild last month. That's awesome. What deck were you playing in Wild? Well, I have no idea what's going on now. Our opponent just played a Force of Nature. We haven't seen that card in a hot minute. We'll backstab, eviscerate this. Cold Blood this. Play this Dread Corsair.
Here we go.
No quarter.
Let's see what our opponent has on 7. Even if they have the thing that transforms their two Trents into large Trents. Trent is strong now. Are they going to trade both in and then spread and play? The perfect draw.
Here we go.
No quarter.
Could we have gone for like a sap there? Would that have been better? Scarabs do cost 2, so it's not great. I'd rather try and sap like a... something a bit larger.
I wonder.
I wonder too. Does our opponent want a hero power to try to take down this Firefly? It's like hard mode. Hard mode Breath of the Wild. I mean, how difficult is the base game? Ooh, Soul of the Forest. Opponent will get to retain a little bit of their board. But we might just have lethal, right? This grows to a 7, 12, 13, 15. We just have to dagger up again. Just make sure that that's right. Attack, re-dagger, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah.
Here we go.
I guess we could also have just sapped it, right?
Hold it.
We're overthinking things. Just get that thing out of here. Whew, GG. I'm not sure what our opponent was trying to do there. I have seen people start running the greedy sprites again. Been seeing a lot of that in various Druid decks, but I haven't seen Force of Nature. Yeah, so interesting one. We might have to do a bit of research on HS replays afterwards to figure out what's up, but GG's, well played. Alright everyone, we are here with Deck Fiend's Tempo Rogue. We've just played a bunch of games with it, and Tempo Rogue is really strong. I think that's something we can definitely take from those games. Mostly that Myra's Unstable Element is tremendously powerful. I think it really shows off just how much reach that a deck like this can have. Just how lethal you can still be in turn 7, 8, and 9, ripping all these cards out of your deck. It's really good. The main weakness, though, obviously, is that going to be that early game that we really don't do too much in turn 1 or 2, other than dagger up, maybe play a Firefly. So I imagine that, going back to what we were saying in the intro, that's why these Fan of Knives are here, that if we do face any of those early game decks, those Zoo Warlocks or particularly Odd Paladins, that we do have kind of an out to not getting completely dunked on. So definitely looking forward to playing more Tempo Rogue throughout this season. Big shout outs to Deck Fiend. If you are watching on YouTube, of course all the links are in the description, including a link over to Hearthstone. Jump over to that Hearthstone article, give the deck a +1. Leave a lovely, thoughtful comment. I believe Deck Fiend is going to do a full write-up and a mulligan guide at 10 and 20 upvotes. So if you love free content, go give it some upvotes. Go give it a +1. My links are down there as well, including a link over to my Twitter, @Tommy_Wave. That's the best place to catch me. If you've got any sweet decks you want me to play, throw them up over there. But until next time, stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and, yeah, I don't know, like buff a weapon? Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.